everybody, welcome back to Maker Monday at the Independence Public Library. My name is Caitlin and I'm glad that you joined me again today. Today we are celebrating the arrival of fall. This craft is one that uses recycled materials and we get to use paint. I'm pretty excited. For our project today, you will need these supplies. A piece of paper for your background, a brown paper bag, old puzzle pieces, paint and a paintbrush or markers or crayons if you'd rather, scissors, and glue or tape. You'll also want to make sure that you're wearing old clothes and that you've covered your space with newspaper or magazines so that the paint doesn't get all over your furniture. I will pause here to collect your supplies, and we do still have kits available at the library that you can pick up. Okay, now that you have your supplies, let's get started. If you have a craft kit from the library, there's 3 colors that were included. Mine has green, red, and orange. I know some had yellow and others had different colors of green too. Our final project today will be a tree, and we'll use the puzzle pieces to make the leaves, and we will use the brown paper bag to make the trunk of the tree. So you'll see how that looks here in a little bit. Our first step is to paint our puzzle pieces. So you've just got a few in your kit. You can paint as many or as few as you'd like. These are going to be the leaves of your tree. Now, I am going to paint the back side that's kind of cardboard-like, not the side with the color for the actual picture of the puzzle. And so you're going to want to paint probably, you can paint every puzzle piece and then you kind of know how many you have. You could just paint 8 or 10. It's really up to you. But we're going to paint these so that they are kind of colorful and they look like leaves. So if you think about the leaves outside your house right now, can you think of what color they might be on the trees? The trees that are by my house are kind of orangey yellow right now. But I've seen some really pretty ones that are a little bit red. So I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to paint this puzzle piece orange. And you might get a little bit of paint on your fingers, that's okay. And then I'm going to take my paintbrush, I'm going to go a little bit of red, and I'm just going to put a little bit of red over top of that. So it's kind of mixed in there. It doesn't have to be perfect, and every leaf is different. Have you ever seen a leaf that looks exactly the same as another leaf? I never have. They're never alike. So this leaf is going to be red. And maybe a little tiny bit of orange. You can kind of swirl it in there. So you can see those 2 leaves, they look very different, don't they? The other cool thing that you can do with your paint is you can get a big glob on your brush, put it on your paper, and then a big glob of the second color, put it on your paper, and mix them together. And you might have a totally different color now. That's a brand new color, so I'm going to paint this one that color. You don't have to put a lot of paint on your puzzle pieces. They dry pretty quickly. So you can see this one is a different color than this one, which is different than that one. That's pretty cool. You can dip your brush in some water if you'd like, or you can just kind of paint it on your paper. Now what I'm going to do is get some green on my brush, because there are trees that I've seen in town that are still kind of green. Have you noticed that? Today is October 12th, and so we've still got a little ways to go before all the leaves fall off the trees. What day do you think all the leaves will be gone off the trees? When that happens, then we know that we're close to the next season. Do you know what the next season is? If you guessed winter, you're correct. And winter time brings cold weather. It can sometimes even bring snow. But we're not going to talk about that today. I want to remember and talk about fall. What other fall things do you know about? We know that the leaves change colors. What else do we know? We know that there might be pumpkins outside. Have you seen pumpkins around your neighborhood? Some people like to decorate their yard with spooky things, like a ghost or a monster. All kinds of things. Some people like to go apple picking in the fall. Have you ever done that before? Gone to a place where there's lots of apple trees and actually picked your apples right from the tree? All right, do you see how those leaves are coming together? So I'm going to continue painting my leaves, and you can join me in a few minutes once all of your leaves are painted. Okay, so you can see all the puzzle pieces here. I painted them all. They're all different colors. Hopefully they look kind of like leaves on the tree. And so while those dry, because we want them to be nice and dry before we put them on our tree, we're going to make the trunk of our tree. So we're going to take the brown paper sack and we are going to cut out one side of this. And then we're going to kind of crumple it up a little bit. Just crumple, crumple, crumple. So now, oops, and I've got paint on my fingers, you can see, and I got a little paint on my tree, but that's fine. So now we're going to take our piece of paper. If you picked up a craft kit, it's a white piece of paper. We want to attach our puzzle piece, or excuse me, our trunk of our tree to the paper. Now mine looks a little tall, so I'm going to cut that down just a little bit. Because I want to make sure there's lots of room for my tree, for all my leaves of my tree. So you can glue it down or tape it down flat if you like. I'm going to kind of leave mine crumpled up a little bit. So it kind of has bumps. Think about the trees in your neighborhood. Are they bumpy or are they smooth? So once we have it how we like, we're going to glue it down. So I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to put a line here. I'm going to put 2 lines actually. We'll start with that and see how we do. And after you glue part of it down, you might have to add some more glue. That's okay. Everybody's tree is going to look so different. It's going to be so cool. Okay. So you can see mine kind of sticks out from the paper. I think that's pretty fun. And then we're going to add our puzzle pieces. So once they're dry, we're going to start gluing them on. Now, if you think about a tree, some trees have really long branches with lots of leaves. Others are kind of clustered up at the top. So I'm just going to start gluing puzzle pieces on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some dots of glue on my paper that I can glue my puzzle pieces to. We'll start with that and we'll see how it looks. So some of my puzzle pieces have lots of red. Others have more green, like this one. The goal is going to be to put these on the tree, but how do leaves look on trees? Are they all separate or do they look like they're kind of together? So once I get these first ones down, then I'm going to start overlapping them. Do you know what that means? It's where a puzzle piece might touch another puzzle piece, and it might not be only on the paper. Whoops, that one turned over on me. So So this one's going to kind of be on the paper and on the other puzzle piece. You see how that green overlaps the orange here? That's what I'm going for. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Everybody's tree is going to look so different, and that's going to be awesome. My glue kind of has a spot in there. It doesn't want to come out very easy. There we go. All right. Now, here's a question for you. If you look at the trees in your yard right now, or the trees at the park near you, or the trees by the school, are all the leaves on the tree? Or have some of them gone somewhere else? I'll tell you what, there's a lot of leaves on the grass right now on the ground because the leaves are falling off the tree because that's part of fall. So I'm going to make sure that I put a few leaves down here at the bottom of my tree. These show the leaves that fell off the tree and that they're in the grass now. Maybe somebody you know mows the grass and they have to mow over those leaves, or you might have to even rake them and pick them up. Have you ever done that before? Sometimes it's fun if you can rake them up into a big pile and then you jump in the pile. You can be kind of messy, but it's kind of fun. So as you see, I'm just gluing all these on. There's really no right or wrong way. Everybody's will look different. It'd be pretty cool. The one thing I will tell you is that because these puzzle pieces are kind of heavy, you want to make sure that you give your glue lots of time to dry. So you can't go hang this on your fridge right away. But how does that look? Does that look like a tree? Can you use your imagination and see the tree with the trunk and the leaves, and even the leaves down here at the bottom on the ground? I'd love to see a picture of your completed tree. You can send me an email at iplprograms@gmail.com or leave it in the comments section of our Facebook page. And lastly, today I did bring some examples of some books about fall from our library that I'd love for you to check out. This first one is called The Autumn Visitors. Look who's visiting. I like bears, so I think this is a fun book. Next is a book called Yellow Time. This is about the yellow leaves. Find a tree today with yellow leaves outside. This one is called Fall Leaves Fall. We love fall, and look at all the different colored leaves. That's a great book. The next one is called The Scarecrow's Dance. This scarecrow's pretty cool looking. It tells the story of what scarecrows do. This is a favorite of mine. It's called Leaf Man. Do you see his face? They made a person out of leaves. That's pretty awesome. And lastly, if you like chapter books, this is called What We Found in the Corn Maze and How It Saved a Dragon. It talks about fall. It's a pretty fun book if you want to check that one out. I hope that you like your tree craft, and I hope that it looks pretty cool in your house. I'd love for you to join us in 2 weeks on October 26th. And starting this Friday, October 16th, Boo Bash in a Bag is available for pickup. We'll see you soon. Bye.